Chris, one of the biggest misnomers out there is that it's impossible to surf in Rhode Island.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest misnomers. Absolutely.
I set him up, he knocks him down, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to a town near you. Hey, welcome into Carpooling with Ben. Folks, the other day I was taking a walk on the beach with my wife and came across this gentleman who I'd heard on Cat Country just a few weeks ago. His name is Chris Antao. He is with Gnome Surf. Yeah, as you can see, he's relaxing in a nice comfy chair there, and I will speculate that he got that at Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the underwriting sponsor of this great show here. Chris, good to see you. It's a little different than being in the wetsuit as I saw you on Sunday.
Yes, it's nice to be dry and warm in this October chilly morning.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? You've created this amazing organization that is just something really unique and special. And the few times that I've gone to the beach this year, I've always seen your Jeep there. You're always out there working with the kids. For those who don't know what Gnome Surf is, why don't you just kind of give the Reader's Digest version, as you will?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a 501c3 nonprofit surf therapy organization, and we surf with kids who are neurodivergent. We're for all kids, but we specialize in kids who are neurodivergent, so kids with autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, depression, and anxiety. And when people ask what surf therapy is, we're an innovative alternate form of healthcare that addresses both the physical and mental health of our athletes, as well as the emotional well-being, by using the power of the ocean and the thrill of surfing to accomplish the outcomes we're looking to accomplish.
You used an interesting term there. It's the same term that Special Olympics uses. You refer to the folks that you work with as athletes. They're not clients. They're not, clients sometimes can take on that moniker, not in a negative way, but of somebody who just needs the help and or a patient. These are athletes, and that's what you're teaching these kids to do. What is it that makes surf therapy? What is that bond? I mean, can it be explained?
I'll explain it the best that I can. It's really a connection between the surfer and surf instructor and the athlete and the ocean. And basically, we're just telling them to believe in themselves, because they come to us very apprehensive, very nervous, because in a lot of settings that your typical world has provided for them hasn't really catered towards them being an individual. Like if they were to be out there on the basketball field or the soccer field, it's not a sport that really helps them shine, where with surfing, it's individual. So really just making them believe in their ability rather than them focusing in on what they can't do, and just giving them the confidence to do so. And once they catch their first wave, it's amazing what it does for them. They really start to take on this persona of a surfer and really start to shine and think to themselves, yes, I can do most things that all the other kids can do. I just need to truly believe and focus in on that.
There's also a special thing that happens on land when the parent or the guardian or the caretaker is watching. How many times has the parent come up to you and just they can't contain it?
I'd say parents, especially on the very first time that we get out there with their child, I'd say a good 85% of them are tearing up, are a little bit choked up. Most of them are like, hey, just take my kid out there and float. He loves the water. And that's my cue right there. And then that magic is going to ensue. And it is my, ultimate goal to get that kid riding a wave by himself, to not only have his parents believe, but to help that family dynamic in really getting some happiness. And that's really the magic behind what we do. There's the surfer out there, the athlete, who's doing great things, but it also overflows, no pun intended, into the family life and structure as well, because the parents are just so elated to see their child enjoying something and succeeding out there. And it's truly magical.
Chris, one of the biggest misnomers out there is that it's impossible to surf in Rhode Island. That's
Yeah,
not the case.
that is one of the biggest misnomers.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I set
is.
him up, he knocks him down, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to a town near you.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
No, I mean Rhode, especially this summer, man. We've had some really awesome waves. The summer is typically the lull time for this area, which is great because what we do, we don't need the hurricane swells for the kids, but especially at South Shore, it has such a nice pitch that we even if the waves are small, we always have something that they can surf. But Rhode Island is a great place to surf, and has some of the best waves in the country. Point Judith and Narragansett, when it's kicking correctly,
Yeah.
is one of the best waves in the country. So for people to be like you can't surf in New England, it's just they're not really in the know. But you can totally surf here, and it's a great environment to actually surf.
People who have that attitude should just move to Nebraska and grow corn.
Yes,
I mean,
I
just,
agree. I agree.
it's like, just, you know what? We don't need your negativity. Go.
And we we're a surf school, and we primarily focus in on kids with who are neurodivergent, but we're for all kids. But this summer alone, we're probably one of the top surf schools in the country. I mean, we've had over 700 athletes come through our program, and any surf school that can say that in the country is going to be speaking in as themselves as one of the best. So we really had an explosion of growth, and to be out in New England and Rhode Island is truly humbling. And I'm blessed to be the founder of this program because these kids have told a really special story this summer.
Well, let's talk about this summer. Chris, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's a global pandemic happening.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're aware, this COVID-19 thing. Did you have to make any adaptations? And if so, how has it been this summer?
Yeah, we had a very tough decision to make at the beginning of summer. Most of the surf therapy programs are larger traveling organizations that come into a city and they service 200 kids in one day, and they had to shut their doors. And we're part of this international surf therapy organization, and I'd say probably 70 or 80% of the programs have also just opted not to go ahead this season. But they also deal with vets and a slew of different populations. But I felt it very important for our population, the kids that we serve that need that connection, need that stimulation, in-person friendship, that it was extremely important for us to have a season. And we lost a month and a half of it. But once Governor Raimondo opened up the state to be able to do summer camps, we put in a very strict protocol where we're wearing masks out in the water. I don't know if you've ever surfed or swam, but if you have something covering your mouth, it makes it twice as difficult. Yeah. We used sanitation protocols where we literally spray the boards down with bleach before and after. We have temperature checks. We have antibacterial hand sanitizer that the child must do. And we just went ahead, and what it proved was it was very much needed for these kids, because we tripled in size for a one-on-one surf instruction, and we have not had one case of a breakout or a child come down with COVID. And I'm going to knock on wood here for a second, because we still have about 2 weeks left. But we really put in a very strict protocol to make sure we kept our athletes safe and took it very seriously. And I'm glad that we were there to support the families, because it's really been a magical season. And from what the parents are telling us, really helped salvage their child's summer and helped some of them who were digressing from not being in school every day start to really make strides and gains again. So it's really special.
You know, you talk about, just the challenges every day that some of these athletes, encounter and families take on. And then back in March, everything just seems to shut down. And, my wife, who has worked in early intervention, she said right in the beginning of this, everything else is stopped, but these kids they're not, the aging process still goes, they're still growing. And kids who need these services, if these things get shut off, it can have incredibly long-term negative effects. So a shout out to your entire team for making that happen. I saw it from my own eyes. I bore witness to it this past weekend. Seeing I saw the spray bottle out there. You had the boards. You had your mask on. You were out there working with a young child, and again, I saw the parents on the shore, and it was something really special to stand back and watch and see the excitement and the joy on the child's face, because the athlete's face, excuse me, because it just, you knew something special was happening there. And to be able to do that despite everything that's in the news, despite everything that's going on in this world, because you know what, to that child, they really don't care. They really, and God love them for it, because they're able to go through this and not be as stressed out as most of us adults and those like yourself who are running 501c3s as you deal with this. You do have great support from the local community. I know you also have a great surfboard sponsor as well.
We partner with Focus Up Hawaii, and we're one of the only programs in the world who actually gets their boards made for the specifications of their break. And they also brand them for us. So it's really cool for a child with autism to go out there and know that they're an athlete of Gnome Surf, and looking down on the board and seeing the logo that they represent and the brand they help build right on that board. So yeah, we're grateful for their sponsorship all the way from Hawaii. Sponsoring someone here on the East Coast is not an easy task for them. Sure. But they make it happen for us, and we're extremely proud to partner with them for sure.
And the nice thing is, it's the boards are, they help you out every year, because you run these boards right into the ground, which normal surfers, it's frowned upon, I've heard.
Correct.
It's but you do that for the safety of the child, and then also, that's what happens when you're teaching somebody how to surf. So I know they've been a great supporter. You mentioned that when you were on the Cat Country, the Hall Community Show with Phil Marlowe there. Great job, by the way, on that interview.
Thank you.
For folks who want to get involved, and yes, I realize that it's the end of the season per se, or we're coming up on it, but for people who want to maybe support all the great work that's going on, how can they get involved, and what can they do?
We need help in every which way. I mean, this thing has turned into a corporation. So you see us surfers out there and you just think that, hey, we're having a grand old time surfing with kids, but there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes, from insurances to scheduling to gaining corporate sponsors to keeping in touch with families and volunteers. So if there's a skill that you have, it doesn't have to be surfing, and we definitely need more surfers. So please, surfers, come on out. But and if you just have good vibes, we'll teach you everything you need to know to be out there in the ocean. But we need people from all walks of life with all sorts of skills, and you can get in touch with us through our website. And we actually call our network of families and volunteers the Kind Tribe. Okay. So it's a community that we're trying to build. And if you were to speak to any one of my volunteers, they will tell you that volunteering does just as much for them as we're doing for our athletes. It's a communal feel out there. You become a part of a family of sorts, and it's just a different type of volunteering experience when you can do it on the beach and see all this magic and positive energy flowing through everyone. It's just an amazing thing. So I definitely encourage you. And we're also building a treehouse resort in Costa Rica. So we need people who want to support us out there and be able to take a vacation and come and help us there. So there is definitely a lot to be done and to help with.
And of course, if they have that green stuff, that the shells there, the shekels.
Yes.
You can go right online and make a donation. You're so generous with you. You're so nice. Let me ring the Benny's bell here, folks. We need the donations, please. Your donations are greatly appreciated over at your website and stuff, and people can make an annual donation or whatever they can do.
We do, and that's very important and central to what we do, because we are a nonprofit, and we're trying to tell a story and not tax our parents as much, and really try to get some corporate sponsors. So we're hopefully someone here in the Rhode Island community will come in and really help us out and become our main sponsor. We wear rash guards. All our major sponsors are on our rash guards. We're still looking for our sleeve sponsor.
Okay.
So a lot of these other traveling programs that come into town once a year have major sponsors like Ford and Paul Mitchell, but we're actually a little bit different, and we're trailblazing the path in the United States as what surf therapy looks like as a practice. So a child can come to us every week. It's not just they're coming once a summer for this big event. We're really trying to become that staple in their life where they come and have an outlet to express themselves, to learn more skills like self-confidence and happiness and how to deal with certain situations and overcome certain difficulties. So we're hopeful that we've been telling this story now for a few years, and our parents are certainly telling the story for us. So we're hopeful that we will gain that major sponsor and be able to just do a lot more, because with more, there's so much more that lives that we can help.
Awesome. No, it's incredible, folks. I strongly encourage you, if you have ever had any interest in this, or if you've ever taken a drive down to Narragansett or Newport or anywhere during a storm and looked out at the surfers who are out there, they're a little crazy during a hurricane. Well, there's a lot of good being done in that community. Chris is the face and the forefront of that, absolutely. And I encourage you to go online, follow these folks on social media, follow them online. If you can support them, as somebody who's been down there to watch what you do, it is truly incredible. And the stories are just, on your website, you have a backlog of stories that have been told in other news agencies. So you can learn more about the organization there. And Chris, I'll let you go. I'm sure you've got some wetsuits you have to rotate or get ready for the next round of lessons. But folks, reach out and learn about these folks. They're doing incredible work. Really, it's something special out there.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for having us on. And the more we can get our name out there and let people know that we do exist, that's the most important part, is to be able to reach more families and know that this type of therapy does exist and it is effective. Through the studies that we've done, we've researched that over 98% of our athletes are feeling happier, and over 93% of them are feeling more self-confident after just one lesson. So we hope to get some more families on board. And my dog just wanted to chime in there.
No, I'm glad the dog made an appearance there. What's the dog's name?
His name's Bosco, and he's there.
He's ready for a treat. Good job, Bosco. Well, making his internet debut, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm carpooling anyway. I'm sure Bosco's been all over the web. But Chris, thanks so much, and thanks for all you do.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Have a good one.